Speaker, several weeks ago our nation received a very vivid reminder that Islamic terrorists are still at war with our nation and are bent on killing innocent American citizens. On Christmas Day, an Islamic extremist attempted to blow up Northwest Flight 253 as it was on its final approach from Amsterdam into Detroit Metro Airport with a sophisticated bomb that was smuggled into the plane in his underwear. This terrorist had been radicalized by al-Qaeda on the Arabian Peninsula and trained in camps in Yemen. Following his capture in Detroit, he was only questioned by FBI agents for a total of 50 minutes. Then, after that initial questioning, the bomber was sent to the University of Michigan Burn Center, which is probably the best medical care in the entire world, all at taxpayer expense. Then, Attorney General Eric Holder had to decide how to proceed. Did Attorney General Holder and the Justice Department immediately share the information that they had gathered, the intel, with senior intelligence officials? No. Did Attorney General Holder declare this terrorist an enemy combatant and turn him over to the military for further questioning? No. Did Attorney General Holder have the FBI continue the questioning in order to obtain more actionable intelligence? No. So what did Attorney General Holder have the FBI do? He instructed them to give full Miranda rights to this terrorist, including the right to remain silent, and gave him not one, not two, but actually 3 taxpayer-funded attorneys. And guess what? After he lawyered up, he shut up. The Attorney General did this even though this terrorist had fresh first-hand knowledge of al-Qaeda on the Arabian Peninsula, even though he had previously given actionable intelligence. And now we have made it very difficult to obtain any further intelligence that could have led to the disruption of other planned terrorist attacks or assistance in unwinding this terrorist network. And we need to ask the question, why? I believe that Attorney General Holder has built a culture within the Justice Department that seems to put the rights of terrorists ahead of the safety of our nation. Let us remember that prior to becoming the Attorney General, Eric Holder and his law firm represented many, many terrorists pro bono, that is, for free. These terrorists held in the military justice system, and they argued for their transfer to the civilian justice system, wanting to give them full constitutional rights. As well, he has also represented terrorists held by our government into high-ranking positions within the Justice Department. The Attorney General, Mr. Speaker, has not answered questions as to why senior intelligence officials were not consulted on how to proceed or why this terrorist was not treated as an enemy combatant. Mr. Speaker, it almost seems like Attorney General Holder has gone into the witness protection program with regard to the Christmas Day bomber. If this Congress is to do its duty to provide appropriate oversight in the handling of these issues, Attorney General Holder must answer these questions. Unfortunately, the lack of his consulting with intelligence officials or senior national security officials is nothing new. Attorney General Holder did not consult with senior military or intelligence officials before deciding to try KSM and other 9/11 conspirators in New York City. He did not consult with the police commissioner or the mayor about security concerns before making that decision. And now, New York officials have finally come forward and objected to this trial being held just a few blocks away from Ground Zero because of their security concerns and, of course, the cost that's associated as well. The administration is now looking for new locations to hold this trial, as well as budgeting $200 million for the first year alone to cover security costs. So this decision not only makes us less secure and gives the terrorists a platform from which to spew their hateful rhetoric, anti-American rhetoric, it will also cost the United States taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars, all to extend a pre-9/11 mindset that views terrorism as a criminal offense instead of illegal acts of war. Mr. Speaker, I would respectfully offer some advice for President Obama and Attorney General Holder. Hand over the Christmas Day bomber to the military and intelligence officials and allow for an appropriate interrogation that will yield additional intelligence that will protect America. And keep Khalid Sheik Muhammad and the other terrorists slated for civilian trials in New York City or wherever they end up at, keep them at Gitmo and try them before military commissions. Just over a year ago, they were actually prepared to plead guilty before military commissions. Before Eric Holder made the decision to give them special rights, we could have executed one of them by now. I sincerely hope that the President and his Attorney General rethink their current approach, which I believe, Mr. Speaker, is very dangerous for America. I yield back.
The gentlelady yields back. Ms. Kaptur from Ohio.